Good morning, YouTubers, do-it-yourselfers, mechanics, whoever might be watching. Just a quick one this morning. I'm having to do a little work on my own truck before I wrap up a video on the 20 million times now promised Ford F-150. But firstly, thank you to any new subscribers. If you find this channel useful in any way, if you have questions about anything outside of mechanics, feel free to leave it in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe. It would be appreciated. Now this is an 04 Chevy Silverado 5-speed, good old-fashioned standard steel cable throttle, but new enough it does have a throttle position sensor. And if you're not familiar with some of the stuff on here, I'll show you some of the important parts. But here's one of the keys. Right there, that opening, that is your idle air control, or part of the idle air control. Also, you'll notice this is clean here. I just cleaned it not long ago, but you need to keep that clean. And when you do, you need to make sure you know your throttle relearn procedures. This one has a compression loss. You already know where it is. We're going to take care of that later in another video, but just some of the things to know on these pickups and some of the things that affect your power and your pulling, your driving, your fuel mileage, everything. First and foremost is your mass airflow sensor. If you pull that thing and clean it, do not use anything but mass airflow cleaner. Don't use carburetor cleaner or anything like that on it. There are electrodes in there. On this truck, that would be your ignition coil or your main coil going to the distributor, which I should have done a video on that because I've just done that entire distributor, but that was a late night and I was busy. But there's your evap, EGR, and that little booger right there is your map sensor. They're pretty much all located in the same areas. This one goes there in the little slot in the upper intake manifold. PCV, which this side is just a crank ventilation. There's the actual PCV valve on the opposite side. These trucks are notorious for exhaust leaks, so it helps to tighten them down every now and then, replace them. I'm going to be doing the heads on here, so it came with a whole kit. So we're just going to do gaskets all the way up. But I've done a video on this one before and how them caps will get corrosion built up underneath them. That is 99.9% of the time. If these things are misfiring or acting up or giving you trouble cranking, it's right there. Replace that distributor and rotor. Go with the lifetime warranty, because it don't matter what you do, you're going to be replacing that at least once a year. See, there was another tidbit over here. Now this is on any vehicle, but this one especially. Let's see if I can see it here. Okay, you see that harness with the light shining right there? That is your coolant temperature sensor. You also have an air intake temperature sensor, or intake air temperature sensor, however you want to word it. Those are some very commonly overlooked sensors when it comes to performance and fuel mileage. Your map sensors 100% affect fuel mileage and running of the vehicle, but coolant temperature and air temperature also severely affect the running of the vehicle. Your computer takes a reading of those and it decides how much fuel to add or take away depending on air temperature, coolant temperature, just various conditions. So these sensors are extremely important, and they're really easy to check, especially on this truck. It is over 100 degrees daily here in Texas, but yet my temperature sensor shows not even normal operating temperature. So obviously the sensor's not working. It appears to be a common fail item on here. I'll give Chevy this: you'll never have a problem out of the ACs, but outside of that, I'm not a big fan of them. I've mentioned on other videos, always check your grounds, all your ground points. Make sure them things are clean, because 90% of your sensors run off ground. Matter of fact, it says it right here on the map sensor. 5 volt out to ground. So the PCM uses the ground to read get a signal or open and close various sensors and actuators. So if you have a loose ground connection or you have a corroded ground connection, there's an issue. But we'll do more on this one after a while. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling the upper and lower intake manifolds, probably the heads. We're going to do a valve adjustment and just give this thing an overall good cleaning. I'll show you how to set timing, and we'll do a little more on sensors. And again, don't hesitate to leave questions in them comments. I enjoy answering them. It gives me something to do. Take care and God bless.